Hey everybody, Steve with Bruiser Bass Addiction Gear, Flat Out Tungstens. Wanted to go over a quick recap of the North Lake Bruiser Free Kayak Challenge that we hosted this weekend. Tough conditions, but the results were really good. Really impressed with what these kayak anglers, they're going out. These anglers are tough, man. There's no other way to say it. They're going out there in 15 to 20 mile an hour winds. They do reach out. They spread out. They give it their all. They get as far away as they can go and be safely come back. But in the end, they were kind of confined just because of the wind. But nevertheless, super impressed with them. Their tenacity, their never give up kind of. They have to have it. They have to have it mentally because they can't run. Their version of running is maybe a troll, mostly a paddle. There's not a lot of things they can do. They got to get creative, and they got really creative. The weights were really good. I mean, 8th place. We had almost 30 boats. We paid down to 8 spots. 8th place had 12 to 13 pounds, and the winner had between 22 and 23 pounds. 80 some inches on the win, 22 and a half big fish, probably around 6.5 pounds, 6.5 pounds. Really impressive. So congratulations to those guys that came out and took home a prize. Furthermore, I want to thank all the sponsors: Kistler, Drave USA, Boca Bearings, Redline Lures, Fishing Online, Power Core Rods, Mustad, Phoenix rods. You guys, I appreciate it. There were some staffers that had some rod companies come in of their own, and they really did well. So I do appreciate that. I know sometimes the kayak segment gets neglected a little bit, but this was not one of those, and I refuse to do that. We're going to continue to do tournaments for the kayak sector, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Good weights, obviously, but with that comes kind of the cool thing that I like about these tournaments, because these people have very open minds and they do things differently and they catch fish, and it just makes our baits that much more versatile. Sorry, I have an angry pit bull behind the scenes that's not on camera and she ain't happy. That being said, check out some of these baits that these guys used, and then we'll go over some techniques. Check them out. Check this out, guys. Trailer baits were a huge deal. A lot of horizontal stuff with the wind. I mean, there was basically some breakers out there, even though we were on the north side of the lake. I went up and spoke to probably 6 to 8 anglers and kind of said, "Show me what you got. How did you pull these good weights off?" The Big Jerk was utilized solo, and it was utilized on chatterbaits. Super Swimmer Junior was utilized on the spinner baits, and it was used on chatterbaits. Same way with the Rad Shad. The Rad Shad was utilized on the the chatterbaits and the naked, I should say. The winning bait, buzz bait, and the Kickin' Frog. This thing got munched. That's the exact color, smoking shad, on a buzz bait in that ripple, and they were eating it. That was really, really cool to see. The winner did catch one on the Slimmer Swimmer with a trailer. I think it was on a spinner bait, which was crazy because I've never put that on a swim. I've always thought that was too long. Apparently not, on a spinner bait trailer. One of the more unique things, of course, the Crazy Crawl on a swim jig. That's no secret there. That's been working for eons. Had a guy take a Moonlight Avenger, dip the tips in chartreuse, threw it on a swim jig, and was catching them. Wow. So anyway, very, very cool. That's just some of the baits that were used. It wasn't a big flipping punching deal like I thought it would be. A lot of horizontal baits. They needed a lot of vibration, so they kind of had to help the baits out, which I allow. I allowed for chatterbaits, swim jigs, buzz baits, spinner baits, etc. So anyway, I just want to give everybody kind of a recap of what happened. Thank you to the sponsors. Thank you to the anglers for showing up. We had almost 30 kayaks out there. We had a great time. We gave away a lot of stuff and some cash. We kicked in cash and trophies as well. And it was really, really cool. We're going to do it again. North Lake Kayak Challenge. We had it this past Saturday, and the guys came out and did really well. Anyway, Steve with Bruiser Bass Addiction Gear Flat Out Tungsten. Stay tuned because we're bringing out the big boats. The big boats coming in a couple months. We're going to have another free. Stay tuned for that announcement. Steve, Bruiser Bass Addiction Flat Out Tungsten, signing off with the North Lake Kayak Challenge, a huge success right out of top of Okeechobee. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned for more tournament updates.